There are 3 simple steps to actually overcome your fear of rejection. These steps are absolutely essential if you want to be able to speak to girls with ease without being afraid of the outcome. Before you make this mindset shift, you'll never have success meeting new people, let alone girls. And to illustrate this, let me take you back to when I first moved to Florida 4 years ago, knowing absolutely no one. I was here by myself, a shy introvert, terrified to meet new people. I was going to the gym because I love doing that, and that was the one thing that kept me going. And when I was there, I saw this girl every single time at the gym that I wanted to talk to. But every single time I thought of it, my heart would start racing, I'd get negative thoughts, limiting beliefs come to mind, my armpit would sweat, my hands would get clammy, and it would just get all worked up for no reason to then never talk to her. And this went on for months and months and months, and I never did talk to her. So the question I have for you is, how many missed opportunities have you had because you feared rejection, only to be left with regret after? See, rejection can't actually hurt you, but it can actually build you up and make you better off than you were before. And we're gonna touch on this in the second part of the video. But for right now, I wanna go into what happens when you let go of the fear of rejection completely. See, about 7 or 8 months later from that point, I went through a transformational time in my life. I met a girl, dated her for 3 months, got broken up with, was heartbroken. I fell head over heels in love with her, and I was really down bad. And then I took on holistic self-improvement. So for about another 3 months, I went all in, doing all the things that are kind of portrayed in the self-improvement space, with delaying gratification, taking on reading, meditating, gratitude journaling, getting rid of all the instant gratification activities, and I mean every single one of them. So my confidence went sky high, and I was the best version of myself. And then I went to Sweden for the first time as an adult. I went there as a kid, but I hadn't been back, and I knew absolutely no one there. And I went the best version of myself. I started going out on the weekends, and I absolutely killed it with girls, and also made so many friends in the process. In 5 weeks, I got with 7 girls and made more friends than I'd ever had in my life. And this was one of the most transformational rewards, because I had that huge transformational time in my life, but this was one of the most rewarding times where I put in so much work, went from a low to a high, and then also got all those rewards as a result of it. And I went out there and I just introduced myself to every single person I saw. I just said hi, started chatting with them, talked to all these girls, and things just went so well for me because I did not fear rejection. So this is what life can truly look like for you if you apply every single step of this video. See, there is a way that you can leave every rejection feeling like you just won the Super Bowl, and let me give you 2 examples. So one from this past summer in Sweden, when I was out there in a new city all by myself talking to girls. I went up to this one girl who was taller than me, and I asked her, what is her name? She told me that she had a boyfriend, and I said, okay, awesome, have a great night. And I went on to talk to a bunch of girls. Whether I slept with one that night or not, I don't remember. But either way, I did not care. I was like, cool, have a good night. And I went and talked to the next person and the next person and the next person. And in this process, that last summer, I absolutely cleaned up out there. See, I don't care about one singular rejection. And let me bring you back now to the next example here in Florida, just a couple weeks or a month or so ago. I was out with a friend. We were going out sober to the bars to work on our sober skills, getting girls. It's easier with alcohol, of course, but it's also good to be able to go out there and talk to people sober just as good as you can when you are drinking. So that's what we were working on together, our sober game. And we went up to these 2 girls. One of them was gorgeous, my type, blonde hair, blue eyes, really big tits. She was super attractive. She was actually Polish. And my friend talked to her friend. And we talked to them for about 4 or 5 minutes. I got her number, but it was a fake number. And the thing is, in both of these examples, the cold approach went wrong. I got rejected in the first one in Sweden right off the bat. The second one, we got to talking for a little bit. The conversation was okay, but it wasn't anything insane. And then I ended up getting a fake number. And the next day when I texted her, someone was like, this is not that person. You got played, my friend. And I was like, damn, whatever. But the lesson here is that you need to make courage the reward for going up and approaching girls. See, most of you, if you're watching this video, this is something that you fear, as I did when I was growing up. I was terrified to talk to girls. So every time I talk to a girl, that is me displaying a little bit of courage. Of course, now it is not as hard after I've done it probably 1,000 times. But every single time, I feel proud of myself because I can remember back to when I was a shy, insecure kid who was petrified to talk to girls, didn't know what to say, had every negative thought and limiting belief come to mind, and now I'm just out here doing it confidently. So I feel proud of myself for displaying courage time and time again, even after I get rejected, and that for me is the win. I don't care how one singular interaction goes. And let's take this over to sales to kind of explain how this all ties in together. See, with sales, I've taken on many sales jobs. There's pretty much a minimum close rate at a company, meaning that if you take 100 calls, you will close, let's say, 5 of them. At the very lowest, there's a minimum close rate of 5%. So you just need to take those phone calls. That's what it comes down to. You just gotta sit on the phone, dial 100 people, whether it takes a day, 2 days, 3 days, a week, and once you get through those 100 calls, you should have closed about 5 sales. Now, it doesn't always work out like that. Sometimes you might have to take 200, and in the last 20, you end up getting those 10 sales, and that averages out for the 5%. But that is how it works, is that not every single time you take a sales call, you're gonna close the deal. But over enough time, you will get plenty of deals. And this is the same thing for cold approaching. Not every single interaction is gonna go well. And if you let one interaction ruin all the progress you've made, then this is gonna mess you up so badly when if you just sit there and you're like, or you just take it and you're just like, okay, well, the thing is, I can either let this one bad interaction define me, or I can be proud of myself for displaying courage and doing the thing that scares me, and then continue doing it because I know with enough time, I will have plenty of success. And that is the mindset I've adopted, and that has helped me so, so much. I can't explain. This has to be one of the most valuable mindset shifts that you can take from me, and this will give you so much less fear going into cold approaching and also getting over rejections. This is how you can actually implement this advice and change your life forever. So I want to take you back to that transformational phase of my life. I told you after I got broken up with, I went into this holistic self-improvement phase. And during this time, it wasn't just the self-improvement that I was doing. I was also doing challenges that pushed my comfort zone. This was a huge part to the true success that I had building my confidence. So something I did on a small daily basis was like cold showers. And that was a win. It was something uncomfortable that I would do, and doing it gave me that sense of reward that I was pushing myself just a little bit. But I also applied this to social skills. See, one thing I tried to do was just talk to one new person everywhere I possibly could. It didn't even have to be a girl. It could just be anybody. So I'll give you a funny story. So I set this intention when I was at the gym with my friend. I said, we're gonna talk to one person and let's give them a compliment. And it's gotta be a girl because it's a little bit harder than a dude. You can just give them and be like, oh, nice physique, bro. But we wanted to push ourselves a little bit. And the workout was coming to an end and we didn't do our compliment. And I was like, no, I'm a man of my word. I'm gonna do this. And I saw this lady with some colorful shoes. She was maybe like 40 years old. And I was like, excuse me, I like your shoes. And it was the most awkward delivery ever. And I got red in the face and she was like, thank you. And it was really weird. And then I walked off, and then we laughed about it in the car. Even though it was really, really embarrassing in the moment, I was so proud that I stuck to my word. I did something that made me uncomfortable, and it ended up building my confidence in the process because I just said I was gonna do something, I did it. I realized that nothing bad came out of it. Even if the delivery was shit, I tried to be nice and I tried to spread positivity. If it got received that way, perfect. If not, I was trying my best. And it was just a good laugh in the end of the day. And this built my confidence, and I did this as much as I could. So I was always trying to talk to new people, wherever I went, even if it was a guy, an old person, a girl. And this helped me build my confidence so much. So my action step and challenge for you is to try and talk to one new person every day, or at least every time you go someplace new. Whether it's the grocery store, the beach, the gym, anywhere you go, try and talk to someone. Like a couple days ago, I was at my ice bath and sauna club, and in the sauna, it's a great place to talk to people. This girl came in and we just started talking. We started talking about the gym, our goals. We had very similar goals. We were diving into how we're tracking our calories, what muscles we're trying to really improve on. And we got into other things in terms of like what she does for work, what I do. All these different aspects were talked about just from a small, simple conversation. And nothing came of this. I didn't get with her. It wasn't anything like that. But I was just practicing the skill of conversation, just meeting new people, being able to talk to them, being likable. These are all things that you practice and you get better with time. I know it sounds crazy, but the more you implement these skills and the more you talk to new people, the more you have conversations, the more you deal with rejection also, you're just gonna get better at socializing and talking to new people. It's just something that's gonna really help you out if you talk to one new person as much as you can, ideally every day or whenever you go and you're in a social setting. This is gonna do so much for you. And the thing is, once you talk to enough people, you're gonna realize that so many of them are super friendly. Most people are open for conversation and they're gonna wanna talk to you and they're gonna be nice and they're gonna reciprocate questions. Very few people are not gonna be nice. And you just also have to be a little bit wise. Like, don't go talking to the person who's looking scary as shit, homeless with a bottle, drinking. Like, that's not a good decision. But anyone who's a normal person, dressed well, smiling, in a place where people are friendly, you should be fine talking to people. Obviously, there's two extremes, but most people are gonna be so friendly. I've had very few bad interactions in my life. Very few. And it comes from a little bit of social intuition where it's like, don't talk to this person. They seem like a threat, obviously. But if you just talk to nice, normal people, your conversations will be great. You'll meet so many nice people and nothing's gonna go bad. I promise you. And the thing is, even if it does, you survived and the worst case scenario happened and you came out okay. And this is something that's actually very liberating and powerful, especially with your rejections too, is knowing that if the worst case scenario happens, you come out of this with some lessons, you learn something about yourself, and nothing really bad happened in the end of the day. And that's what I want to leave you guys off with. Thank you for watching to the end. If this video provides you any value, make sure to subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be teaching you how to become attractive to girls in every single aspect of your life. So if that sounds of interest, make sure to hit the subscribe button.